Sorry about this, guys. You know, when I do these lecture videos, I'm actually talking to you so that if I was in class, I would be talking to you the same way. We'd be using it, but we'd actually be working out some problems along the way. So we're going to look at the last two, accounting rate of return and lowest total cost. The ARR is basically an average of the annual income from any project divided by the average cost of the product. So to find the ARR, here's my formula. I only have one slide. Average annual income divided by average cost of investment over its life. So I'm going to invest $10,000. I'm going to receive royalties of $3,000 per year. Using an ARR, my annual income is $3,000 divided by the $10,000 that I invested is going to give me a 30% accounting rate of return. Listen, guys, 30% rate of return is excellent. I wish I could get that on any monies I have put away right now. Okay, so this is another way to calculate it. This is a very easy and simple way to calculate it. So we'll talk about, I only have one slide, but it says average annual income. If you had different uneven annual income, you would add them all together and divide it by the number of years to get your average. Just FYI, okay? Okay, next we're going to look at lowest total cost. And this is probably one of the easiest ones to do. It's similar to NPV because I do use that time value of money, and that's really important. Using that NPV is really, really important because you've got money you're going to get in the future from these proposals, and your whole goal is figuring out what is it worth now? Could I be doing something else with it? So LTC, it basically looks at these things. It looks at the lowest present value, includes all the costs associated with two. So I'm going to look at different proposals with this one. I'm going to look at proposal 1, 2, or 3, or A, B, and C. I'm going to calculate all the present value, and don't forget to add any salvage. If I have any salvage value, that's when I sell it for money at the end of the time. And then decide based upon what is the total cost, the lowest one is the one I'm going to choose. So here I have an example. Let's see, I'm going to buy a truck. It's going to cost me $3.90 a gallon to fill up. Here's my annual miles. My weighted average is 12%. I'm going to have it for 6 years. And here are my multipliers. Present value of annuity and present value of a dollar. So these are multipliers from my table, okay, using the information. So I'm looking at A, B, or C, okay, and they cost different things. And so here are the cost and benefits. So here's the purchase price. Here's what it's going to cost me in fuel. Now this is, excuse me, guys. So this is actually, I'm getting 16 miles to a gallon. So this is what I'm putting out now. Okay, this is the present value. This is over 6 years, but this is the present value of what's going to happen over the 6 years. So it's going to cost me this. Annually, it's going to cost me this. Annually, it's going to cost me this. And then I will get salvage value. But this is the present value. So the present value of all of this one for this particular model is $52,526 and change. So I do this one. This is 13 gallons per mile, and this is 15. And so when I do all of this, I only look down here to choose the one that is the lowest total cost. Well, right by looking at it, you can tell truck model A is. It might have something to do with the fact that I get more miles per gallon. Okay? Might have something to do with that. So lowest total cost is you calculate the present value of a future annuity, present value of a dollar and present value of an annuity. These are the multipliers. Here's my percent. Here's my periods. And that's what I'm calculating here. The money I pay out today for the purchase price, the present value is the same amount. That's why this is here. Okay? Okay, so these were the 6 processes used for capital budgeting. We're not done yet. Because when you're done with all of those, and I'm going to go over my 5-minute time, I have to make a decision. I have to make a decision that's going to choose one of more than, sometimes two scenarios. So when I have more than one scenario or more than one proposal, I can make, there's two terms here, mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive because one is chosen and the others are automatically excluded. Or capital rationing. It's where I only have a certain amount of funds that I can invest in a given time, so I choose which ones those are going to be. So here are my options. Here are my choices. This is a business location, different business locations, the cost for them, the cumulative investment cost, the NPV. Okay, so based upon what I choose, I have to make that decision. And I could be choosing one thing over another. It just depends. So it doesn't necessarily say you're always going to take the lowest cost. You might choose another one for a particular reason. Okay, last slide. Follow up. Make sure that everything went according to your cash flow projections. However you bought it, make sure things actually happen. This is the same thing you do if you were budgeting for your personal income and you brought your paycheck home. Make sure everything got paid that you budgeted for. Make sure you spent the money where you're going to spend it. All of this. So this wraps up Chapter 10 for ACCTGFS465.